absolutely. Yeah.
So that leads me on to the next question, and something that me and my team often speak to clients about when we speak to them, during our consultations or just when we're giving any sort of talks on health and well-being, is that when you're trying to achieve a goal, like you were trying to lose, the weight you'd lost, often some people feel as though it's a sort of a weakness to go and ask for help, and we actually say, look, trying to do this sort of stuff on your own,
it's impossible. It's impossible.
You can be lost. You answer your own questions with past information that's probably faulty information, and you had faulty self-belief. So when you finally got motivated to do something, who did you actually turn to for help to assist you?
Right, well, about 6 months previous to my dad, I had met a homeopath at a party.
Right, okay.
And as she was leaving, she gave me her card and said to me, I can help you feel better. Here's my card if you're interested. And at the time thinking, who are you? Who are you to tell me that you can make me feel better? But, I believe the universe brings these situations to us for a reason. And I kept the card.
Yeah.
So when it was time, I took the card out of the drawer and called her and said, can you help me, please? And it's quite funny because I was a very proud person, didn't like asking for help, but I knew that I couldn't do it on my own. And my main reason, it wasn't so much the weight loss, it was that I wanted to get healthy.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't.
Yeah.
I really needed to get healthy. Yeah.
And that's just, if I could just jump in there, because you make a very good point there before you continue with, who was helping you on this journey.
Yeah.
But the point you made there was getting healthy
Yeah.
to lose weight as opposed to losing weight to become healthy. And I think a lot of people get that the wrong way around. It's actually, as you've just described.
They do, yeah. I did.
Get healthy first.
I used to go on all sorts of crazy diets and stuff. I used to starve myself. I used to take laxatives because, I thought the weight loss was the point. And no, it's the health.
Yes.
The weight loss is a bonus.
Yes.
because I was so focused on getting healthy, the better I felt, the more weight just seemed to be coming off. It wasn't, because I wasn't focusing on it anymore, it was kind of happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's about getting healthy first, definitely.
Yeah, that's a huge point you
That's
make.
a huge mind shift to make, but that's the right one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So you had a homeopath helping you. Did you have any other assistance at all?
Yeah, I hired a personal trainer as well because I had no idea what to do with exercise. I couldn't even walk a flight of stairs without wheezing, so I knew I needed help in that department.
Yeah. And how did you find working with a trainer initially? How was that? Because, we see these shows like The Biggest Loser, and we see some... In my opinion, it's an entertainment show.
I would have been terrified with that.
Yeah.
But my trainer, we started working, I think we first started working once a week and for a half an hour. And then I think by the end of the month we started twice a week, still for a half an hour. I didn't start doing hours with her until I was good 3 or 4 months in because I was just a bit too scared. And it wasn't until she said, right, okay, next week we're going to go for an hour. And I was like, okay. But by that time, I had progressed a bit and I was walking a lot more and, even going to the gym to do classes on my own without her. So, yeah. But I'd say it probably took about 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks when I was starting to feel more confident and waking up in the morning feeling brighter, and by this time I was well into my, eating lots of alkaline food that my homeopath had got me on. So I was already feeling better. By week 6 or 7, I was feeling better. By week 8 to 10, things were in motion. It didn't actually take that long.
Yeah, and just a couple of points there I want to pick up on. I mean, the first one is it's nice to actually hear that you were able to find a personal trainer that wasn't like with all due respect to the guys on TV, I know they're performing for television and it's a bit of an entertainment show.
Yeah, but she wasn't an army sergeant at all.
She wasn't?
She wasn't like an army sergeant at all.
No, and it's nice to hear, and I think, people who are listening and people who will listen to this recording in the future to realise that, I would say 90% of personal trainers out there are normal, regular people that are not going to be shouting and screaming. It's just
Exactly.
Not,
I'm a personal trainer now. I just want to help people.
Yeah.
I just want to help them feel better, and I'm not, I'm not going to yell at them to make them do it.
Yeah,
There's no point. Let them have fun. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that way in the real world. People tend to be a bit more normal.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the other thing that you mentioned there in terms, and I don't want to turn this into a diet talk, but you touched on alkaline food there. Just share a little bit of your experience with that.
Yeah, basically.
And for listeners that are maybe not familiar with it, because I know it's a new thing, or relatively new, just maybe give us a bit of background and then a bit of your experience without sort of giving us too much, but just a little taster of that.
Basically, the processed food diet, which most people eat, is extremely acidic. Sodas, especially sugar is extremely acidic to the body. And when the body's in an acidic state, it's in a toxic state.
Yeah.
And toxins love fat cells, and they'll sit inside fat cells, which makes it harder to lose weight because the toxins are sat in the cells. So it just puts the body in a metabolic state, which is extremely unhealthy, and it's a vicious cycle. Whereas real processed whole foods are quite alkaline to the body, especially greens, and even apple cider vinegar and lemon. I know they are acidic in themselves, but they have an alkaline effect on the body.
Yeah.
And it helps the body to release toxins out of the fat cells, which you sweat out or through your urine. And it just makes the body feel much better and more energized because your cells are able to work properly.
Yeah. And again, just adding to the whole alkaline movement that seems to have now gathered a bit of pace because of various celebrities sort of jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's probably worth just pointing out that I think alkaline is a label that we've now given to what I believe for the last 15, 20, 30 years is information that we've been giving out, which is just eat greens, eat healthy food. They've given it a nice label now, I guess, which makes it a little bit more in vogue and popular.
Yeah, it makes it something that they can try to market.
Yes.
But it's just eat real food. It's eat the food that our bodies were designed to eat.
Yeah.
Nature provided what we're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
And most people don't eat what nature provided.
Sure.
This is the problem. This is the big problem.
So you then had a real combination of mindset, good nutrition, and exercise. That was the basic formula that sort of got you to where you are now. Then
that's the only formula that works. That's the only formula for permanent, sustainable weight loss because it puts the body back in its default mode of health, which is where it's supposed to be.
Sure. And could I ask then, how much weight did you manage to lose in your first year?
About 3.5 to 4 stone. Yeah, without sort of really trying, because it was, like I said, it was all about getting healthy, and I was feeling so much better. It was amazing. I remember the first time walking into Topshop, going, I can try anything on in here. It was great.
No, that's really good. And again, for people listening, it's just realizing that you don't have to. Some people lose weight incredibly quickly, which is, if it's done healthily, that's great. But it's not a race, is it? As you clearly say, it's about a lifestyle change.
And the thing is, when people generally lose weight quickly on crash diets like this, especially if they're big, they have the problem with lots of excess skin.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I didn't start this until I was 43. I'm now 49, coming up to my 50th birthday, and I don't have lots of loose skin. People look at me going, you haven't lost 7 stone, there's no way. Where's all your extra skin? I was like, because I lost it in a healthy way. My cells were able to regenerate as rapidly as I was losing it. Therefore, I don't have lots of excess skin about.
Yeah, sure. And again, just to reiterate for people listening, so your overall weight loss was
7 stone.
7 stone, yeah. And that took you in its entirety?
About 2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I say, is absolutely fantastic, achievement, especially in today's society where there are so many things that can distract you, take you off course.